my fight fans? We got some big news that just happened today. We got ourselves a fight announced October 28th in Saudi Arabia, over there possibly in Abu Dhabi. You got yourself Francis Ngannou, the former heavyweight champion of the world of the UFC, taking on the heavyweight champion of the world in Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. Guys, I'm super excited for this. I am super excited. We knew this fight was a potential matchup. We knew this fight was going to be in the making. It's actually been in the making for at least 2 years. We already heard Francis Ngannou during his UFC run. He wanted to fight Tyson Fury in a boxing match. He wanted this kind of hybrid match or some type of boxing match. But we know he wanted to step in the ring or even in the cage with Tyson Fury. And then these two guys had a little face-to-face action last year in April after Tyson Fury, I believe he beat, I'm not sure, I think it was either Dillian White or Derek Chisora, one or the other. And then that's when they both went in the ring and they both wanted to face off with each other, and they both were in the making of making this fight happen with each other. We know this fight could have happened a lot sooner, but unfortunately with Francis Ngannou's complicated relationship with the UFC, it was very difficult. It was very difficult and very challenging for Francis at first. Then, of course, we know his knee injuries. He has some very bad knee injuries in his fight against Cyril Gane back in 2022 of January. So, yeah, he's been out on the shelf for a long time now. And, of course, you know, he left the UFC and joined with the PFL. And now here he is taking on Tyson Fury. We're not sure what's going on yet. We don't know too many details. We don't know if the championship is going to be on the line. We don't know if this is possibly going to be an exhibition match. We don't know how many rounds it's going to be. We just do not know too much. We just know the fight is actually going down. It is announced. So guys, my question to you guys is this. How happy and how stoked and how excited are you for Francis Ngannou? Me personally, I am very happy. Because everybody that was talking about Francis Ngannou was talking about potentially, you know, if Francis Ngannou doesn't do some kind of deal with a boxer, because we know that was always his go-to, his number one thing to do is boxing, and get this big payday, then maybe the potential of him leaving the UFC was a waste of time. You know, because we know that the UFC pretty much dropped ties with him. We never know. You never know. They might be able to do some kind of reconciliation and come back together and work with each other again. But for the time being, it just didn't seem like that. It seemed like, you know, you got Dana White and you got Francis Ngannou constantly throwing shots at each other, you know, taking jabs at each other. And just so it seemed like these guys were not going to be working with each other anytime soon. So the fact that Francis Ngannou left the UFC and he wasn't necessarily signing anything super big. No disrespect to the PFL, but at the end of the day, they're not the UFC. We already know UFC is the NFL of MMA, hands down. So we were all hoping and banking for those that were actually rooting for Francis Ngannou that, hey, you know, hopefully he does sign something big. You know, he was in potential talks with Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and now Tyson Fury. And now he finally got that fight, which means he finally got his big payday, which means no matter what, win, lose, or draw against the fight with Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou won this fight. He won. He won in life. He won in everything. Because now he's getting that big payday. And now he's showing everybody else that doubted him and showing other people, possibly other fighters, that, hey, sometimes the grass is a little greener on the other side. Sometimes you can go out your own way and make a big possible fight. Because Francis Ngannou is a big name. He very much is. And he's a big pay-per-view draw as well. I'm sure this is going to sell pretty good and pretty well. But at the end of the day, we of course always want that Jon Jones fight, and I do feel like it's going to potentially happen still. I do. But Francis Ngannou is going to get his big payday. He's going to get a big boxing opportunity against Tyson Fury, and it's actually really good for him. Now, also a question I have to ask you, who do you think is going to win? Now, of course, we're going to break this down as we get closer to it and such. But right now, on the top of your head, who do you think is going to win? Honestly, the book reads that Tyson Fury should win. You know, all on paper, Tyson Fury has everything he should have to be able to win this fight, hands down. But Francis Ngannou does have that power. Francis Ngannou has been able to put people out with just a jab alone. I believe he actually won the heavyweight championship against Stipe Miocic on the jab alone. So yeah, you know, there's a potential where Francis Ngannou could catch Tyson Fury with a huge shot that could put his lights out. This is a little bit different than that Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather, where Floyd Mayweather is an excellent defensive fighter and has never been put out in We know Conor. He had that one shot power, the power that would be able to put some people's lights out. But I do feel like with the power at a lighter weight class, it is a little bit more difficult to knock somebody out than it is at an upper weight class, at a heavier weight class. With that strength and that power that Francis Ngannou carries, it is very possible. This is a very big puncher's chance. This is not just your typical puncher's chance. Hey, you might get lucky. No, this is a puncher's chance that Francis Ngannou could actually land. But on paper, again, Tyson Fury has the head movement, has the jabs, has the hand speed, has the foot speed, has the movement and the ring generalship to be able to win this fight hands down. But I'm very excited for the fact that this actually happened. I'm very excited that the fact that Francis Ngannou was able to get a deal together. I'm very excited the fact that he was able to get a big payday, because it just shows you, like, hey, in a way, he was the underdog. We didn't know what was going to happen. Maybe this was going to be all for nothing. You know, maybe he was going to have to go crawling back to the UFC and make some kind of deal with them and maybe get lowballed or something. You know, this is going to be him showing his worth. I'm sure they're going to probably take shots saying like, oh, he's going to lose, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, guess what? He won because he was able to get this done and get this fight happening by himself. And that should be a big plus to him. And that should take note for a lot of other fighters. No disrespect to the UFC. We love the UFC. I love the UFC. I watch the UFC all the time. I can't wait to go to some of the shows. It's just a great sport, and it's a great organization, and I love it top to bottom. But I just would love to see these fighters have a little bit more a say in their career, and a little bit more have them make just a little bit more money. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to fight forever. And Francis Ngannou knows that, and he's going to, you know, he is looking for big paydays. Paydays that he probably won't be able to get that much in the UFC. So, glad he was able to get that. I'm happy that this fight's going to happen October 28th. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Guys, let me know in the comments on how excited you are. Let me know who you're rooting for. Let me know who you think is going to win or how they're going to win. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.